No.
And did you ever get any money from Meyer Lansky?
I never got money from any of those fellas.
None of those
None of those fellas. None of these that I've been reading about, and none that I knew. They never gave me anything.
None of the Chennies?
No. I don't even speak to it. I mean, I met that Charlie once or twice. I don't even talk to him.
You don't like him?
No.
Night Court with Joe Lanou live on X.
Also known as Duck Corella.
I refuse to answer on the grounds of main intent to
You
criminal.
got any business?
I refuse to answer on the grounds of intent to criminal.
You have any profession?
I refuse to answer on the grounds of main intent
You have
to
any
criminal.
occupation?
I refuse to answer on the grounds of main intent
Are
to
you a
criminal.
known racketeer?
I refuse to answer on the grounds of main intent.
Happy Friday night, folks. Welcome to the grand jury. I think we got a few more coming in here to get loaded up. Oh, look, there's Jason. Good deal. To get loaded up, to see what we're going to watch tonight, a few good videos. I've got one that I'm still working on that somebody might have sent me at the last minute. And if it wasn't such a good video, I would just talk bad to them and not show it. But in this case, it is a very good video. It's got a lot of editing that I'm trying to get someone's commentary out of it, but I'm working on that. We'll have it up here shortly, but I'm still going to talk bad. That came from Corey. I'm still going to talk bad about him. How's everyone doing tonight?
I'm doing great.
Great.
Doing awesome. Hope you are.
Doing well. And I see that Jason has made it in, our law enforcement panel extraordinaire.
I'm good, guys.
Good
How you
deal.
doing, Jason?
How are you doing, John?
I'm doing good, Jason.
It's good to hear, John.
Well, how you all
John,
doing?
we call you John Boy from now on, so when we're all saying hello, we can actually say John Boy and be referring to you.
I don't care. My cousins, that's what they used to call me.
Yeah, I believe it.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
that's cool. Let's get to some videos.
Yeah.
And then we'll just call John Boy, John Boy all night. I like John Cox from North Carolina, but how would I say that, Fidgy? John Boy from North Carolina.
There you go.
There you go.
A little ring to it. Everybody like that?
Yeah.
Let's go to Oregon. Oregon.
Or
Long move.
Hey partner, how you doing? What's that? Could you go take your hands out of your pocket for me, please? No, you're not leaving right now. Hey, put your hands on your pocket right now. Do you understand? You want to get tased? Find the fucking gun! I really don't Put the gun down! Put the knife down! Right now, put the knife down! Shots fired.
Copy, shots fired. 2015-15, is that you?
Yeah, send me medics right now. 2 shots fired, subject's down, knife in hand. Hey partner, how you doing? What's that? Could you go take your hands out of your pocket for me, please? Hey partner, how you doing? No, you're not leaving right now. Hey, put your hands on your pocket right now. Do you understand? You want to get tased? Pocket for me, please? Find the fucking gun! No, not leaving right now. I really don't Put the gun down! Put the knife down! Right now! Put the knife down! Want to get tased? Shots fired. Put the gun down! Put the knife down!
Copy, shots fired. 2015-15, is that you?
Yeah, send me medics right now. Fired. 2 shots fired, subject's down, knife in hand.
Copy, shots fired.
Yeah, send me medics right now. Fired. 2 shots fired. Subject's down. Knife in hand.
2 shots fired.
Yeah, send me medic now. Fired. 2 shots fired. Subject's down. Knife in hand.
So that happened at a National Guard air station in Salem, Oregon. The gentleman's name was Wong. What do you think about that note he left?
You don't have to go back to it, but I only got half of it. Was it a suicide?
It's a strange note. I think this guy's crazy. Let's see what he says here. He gave a note to the guard shack to the National Guard airport or whatever it is. It says, don't call the cops. 1, surrender, lay down all arms outside the door. Tell the people inside to put every arm inside of a
Jeep
and drive it out. Leave the keys in the ignition. Option 2, I will kill everybody
at this base.
Maybe that's what it says, at this base. I'll give you 10 minutes to decide. Very polite.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, he was wrong for that.
Was an airport, Air National Guard, portion of an airport, I believe. And there's
He stole my joke.
There's the offending weapon.
Well, don't bring a knife to a gunfight.
Any questions? Anybody want to see anything? Are we ready to discuss? Wong died from his injuries.
Wrong place, wrong time.
You know, I'm being serious when I say this. You got to have something wrong upstairs to bring a knife when you're trying to rob or whatever somebody. I mean,
you got to have a screw loose if you think you're going to go to an Army National Guard and tell them to put weapons in a Jeep and leave keys in the ignition for you.
Well, yeah. I mean, okay.
Yeah. What do you guys think?
No bill.
The officer's taser knocked out of his hand there. Y'all notice that?
I saw something fall. It was the taser?
I think he had a taser in his hand initially, first contact. I think it slapped out of his hand, or he drops it and goes, when he sees a knife, goes to his firearm. Either way, I'm not sure how it loses control here. Let me see if I can get back to it. It looks like the suspect may have knocked it out of his left hand.
Yeah, this is no bill for me.
Yeah, no bill. I don't know what he's thinking, but he was dead wrong.
Fidji, you don't have anything? You think that the suspect was Wong?
No, I don't have anything. This is a no bill. There was something I was going to ask. I don't remember what it was. Oh, how many times a day do you think shit like this happens across this country?
Ending gunshots?
Well, no, I mean, just this level of crazy.
Oh, more than you know. Some of it's over Kool-Aid. Just more than you know. Squirrel Nuts asks, I know he was a threat, but walking away and being shot in the back, how does that play in court?
He wasn't shot in the
But he wasn't shot in the back, by the way. That is something interesting I wanted to bring up. But Jason, do you want to address that?
Yeah, so it goes back to some other videos we talked about. He's already sent the note in. The officers have that information. They respond. He was aggressive towards the cop. So he's already committed felonies. So he's at this point a fleeing felon. If the officer just walks away, are we putting the general public at harm's length to just not interact at that point? So there are times when you can.
Hey, Burton, can you mute?
There are times that's been proven in court that you can shoot somebody in the back. A great example is an active shooter. They've already committed violence towards somebody else to injure somebody else. The combination with that, with the note that he left, that's why I say no bill. He presented a weapon. He knocked a weapon out of the officer's hand. This is a follow rules, lay down, and everything's fine. This guy brought this on himself. Cops cannot let him walk off and hurt somebody else.
I think a shorter way to say that, Squirrel Nuts, is that I think you could articulate that he's a threat to the public at large. Allowing him to flee armed could put other innocent people in danger, so therefore authorized. Interesting on this, we talked about this with body armor. I've heard people talk about, well, you got body armor on. This guy was hit with 2 rounds. And where did I see? Struck twice with the bullets passing through his arm and torso. No other individuals were harmed. Even if he had a vest on, it would have gone underneath his vest. Very common. I bring that up. It's very, very common. Even with police officers, it used to be a lot more common. We changed the way we stand. Our officers changed the way they stance and face a target instead of sideways. Used to be a theory back when Jason first started, when they had slingshots, that you would stand sideways to a target to present a less of a target to your foe. We've changed that. Now we stand directly at it because we actually have bullet protection in the front, where you have no bullet protection on the sides.
Did you just say slingshot?
Right. That was your first duty weapon, right?
Yeah, it was.
So one thing to bring up, I think what a lot of people may have questions about, is the Jeff Van Dyke case, or Laquan McDonald here in Chicago.
Okay, don't know anything about it. If you want to fill us in, we can talk about it. If not, we'll move on.
Oh, okay. I thought you already knew about it, but we can move on. That's probably something we can discuss on the after party.
Okay. I think this is Oregon. I think this is another crazy person out there that I'm pretty sure they voted blue. They lost another voter in Oregon. Okay, let's go to, you know what? Tonight's the night of doubles. I've got 2 in Ohio. I've got 2 in Jacksonville. And I had 2 in San Antonio that I don't know if we're going to have a chance to get to. I haven't had a chance to cut those. And they're raw releases, so it's a bunch of blah, blah, blahs in there. But let's go to the first. Both Ohio's are fugitives. Let's go to the first Ohio fugitive.
Come on. Go ahead, Billy.
Copy. We're down to 40, still southbound. He's weaving all over the right side of the road.
He's crashing out.
Going through the field now.
Watch
through
out.
the field now.
48 headquarters pursuit. 48 headquarters pursuit. King Henry 8716. King Henry 8716. It's going to be a black Kia. Passing armor. Speeds are 105. King Henry 871. Eastbound on 224. Yeah, black.
Alright, we're going to be continuing 22. We're going to be heading down 14. 14 is going to be south. 14 south.
Just threw a tire iron at me.
Alright, we just entered Smith Township's jurisdiction, just passed over 12. Continuing south on 14. Continuing south, just past Smith Goshen. Speeds are 110.
48 headquarters. See if OSB has any units with spike strips to stop this thing.
Yeah, be coming up to 165. Speeds are 100. Traffic 0. Headquarters Goshen and Salem. Guys, be careful with this bridge up ahead. Be careful with the bridge.
Southbound, we're into Salem.
I'm behind you, Tuss.
Copy. We're going westbound onto West State.
Continuing westbound. So past Duck Creek, speed is 90. Traffic light.
He's searching all over around the front. He just threw a chocolate milk at me.
OSP is trying to lay down spike strips in Damascus by Farmers Bank.
534.
He just got hit with spike strips, and so did I. Take over. I just lost both driver's side tires.
So you have to stop.
I am.
Going to throw things at us from the car. Still southbound.
Hey, be careful. That was a knife you threw out.
Field now.
Watch
Through
out.
field now.
Watch yourself. I'm not going to eject him yet. He's reaching.
He's coming to a stop. He's ready for a fail.
Hold on.
Get on the fucking ground! Get on the fucking ground! Get on the...
I don't give a fuck!
Okay. Wasn't a shooting in this, just a good pursuit and a good spiking of a police tire. Any comments on this one?
19, wait, what was that? 19 open license suspensions?
Yeah, he was, as they would say, he was known by law enforcement. 19 open driver's license suspensions, has been arrested approximately 28 times previously, including 2 other pursuits with APD. During the pursuit through the 4 counties, Wolf threw multiple objects at the pursuing police cruisers, including a tire iron, chocolate milk, and a knife in an attempt to cause the cruiser to crash.
Well, yeah, he threw the tire iron because he was just frustrated. I think he thought the cop was thirsty, so he wanted to give him some chocolate milk.
Yeah, I say death penalty for the chocolate milk.
Well, when if he threw the chocolate milk at me, I think I'd have had a shot through the windshield. That's that's use of force right there.
Let's watch this spike strip deployment. So I've got it froze there. You can see the unit that's going to deploy the spike strip off to the left, parked. You can see the black line in the road. The suspect vehicle is going around that. Let's see what the police does.
That was pretty funny. Hot damn.
Yeah, he well, the crook did get into the spike strip. They didn't pull it out of the way quick enough. I don't know that some of the radio work with this police officer. I'm not saying he did a bad job, but I think he might be one of those guys on a shift. Jason, do you think?
Typically in pursuits, if you have guys behind him, the number one is never the guy on the mic. Number one is the guy focused on the road.
So you mean calling it? That's
the
lead pursuit is not the call.
Yes, and I think that's a big he's focused on 2 things right there. If you're the number one guy behind a suspect, you got to turn the mic over to the back guy, because I 2 hands on the wheel, focus on driving, let the number 2 or 3 guy call it out.
Okay. That's not what gives me an indication. I'm going to turn the audio on. Listen to the radio traffic after he announces that he's lost his 2 driver's side tires. I may have to go back a little bit. Let's go back a little bit more.
So you have to stop.
I am.
That there, Jason tells me he's that guy on the shift. Did you hear that?
I did. I'm not sure what you're referring to, though.
Okay, well, so he gets his tires spiked, and he announces he gets his tires spiked. He's pulling over. Somebody tells him in real quick fashion. Let me see if I can get there again. Listen to the tone of, and I think this is a supervisor.
So you have to stop.
I am.
Yeah, supervisor's pissed off.
That I am would grate on me for weeks. You never tell me I am. Just do what I told you to do.
Yeah, I pick up on that now. My point was he should never be talking.
No, 100%. The guy that's running the pursuit or leading the pursuit needs to focus on the crook in the pursuit. What does Squirrel Nuts have to say? He says, why wasn't this guy locked up for 28 years, 28 prior arrests? That's your justice system, not law enforcement. They don't determine that. Why don't they put overhead mics and push a button on the steering wheel? I mean, what? Why don't they put overhead mics?
Anyway, no bill.
Oh, you're talking about so they don't have to use the hand mic? No.
Yeah.
Fine.
That would make too much sense to have a mic up there that you push a button on the, like in an airplane or something. That would make too much sense.
Man, I tell you what, using the radio has never been a formidable task in my experience. But Jason, what do you think?
No, not at all.
It's just not an issue.
No, it's not.
Okay.
Not only that, but those mics up on the roofs and stuff. I've had cars with those, and those suck. They're terrible.
They're not good mics. But if it's not an issue, Jason, then why do they usually have the number 2 or 3 do it?
To focus on driving, 2 hands on the wheel. Yeah. Focus on driving.
Instead of calling things out.
Yeah, I've been in pursuits too. And
2 hands on the wheel.
I've been in pursuits before. When you're the number 1 guy, your focus is the suspect. The number 2 guy will call it out, and it does make a big difference.
It does. The interesting thing there, he had a partner in the car with him, but he kept picking up the mic, or at least the second one did. I couldn't tell if the first one did, but the second one did because they were sitting there on the computer tapping stuff on the screen.
He might not have been. He might have been a reserve officer, or who knows who that was.
Could have been a ride along.
It could have been a ride along. I was about to say could have been a ride along, but yeah.
I think you guys are focusing on the use of the hand mic as a overbearing task, and it's really not.
No, it's not. I was being facetious. I say no, Bill.
But Jason's point is that in a pursuit, you want to call out for responding officers or officers that aren't necessarily in this pursuit or that are coming maybe from different directions. You want to call out what we call a frontline trace or a lead trace. So if you're on Highway 1, you call out passing Main Street, passing McDonald Street. You're calling out the cross streets so that people that are responding kind of figure out where you're at instead of I'm just on Highway 1. So you give out the cross streets, and that's a job of calling your pursuit, and that's why it really should be your number 2 or somebody that's not in the lead. But once again, I don't know this guy. I'm not besmirching his good reputation. I would just say that he's one of those guys on a shift. There's one on every shift. That no matter what happens, they'll always get the last word. No matter what happens, they're kind of doing their own thing and not necessarily the team player of the shift.
Yeah, the one thing I also question, and somebody's probably going to yell at me for this, but you're pursuing a guy for a non-violent crime. It becomes violent because you're pursuing them. I do question the validity of the pursuit.
I get that in some jurisdictions. If this guy had done this in my jurisdiction, do the wheels fall off? We're going to chase you. But
he had 19 open license suspensions. So he might as well have gone for the 20th. Just make it a nice round number.
They know who he is. And again, pursuits putting people in harm's way. They're doing over 100 miles an hour through residentials. I'm probably calling this pursuit off personally. That he didn't kill somebody. He has no victims. It's every crime he had was self-induced. So that's just my own personal take on it.
Fair enough. Anybody have any more to say about this one if we move to the next Ohio event? With that, let's go to Ohio. Another fugitive apprehension.
Come here, man.
Don't do it.
What's your name?
Just kill me.
Dude, show me your fucking hands right now.
Me, bro.
Pull your fucking hand out of your.
Myself.
I swear to God, pull your. fucking move.
Don't move.
Alright, suspect's down. All the guys are okay.
Don't move. He's got 33 right there. 33 in his hand? No, it's a walkie-talkie, but there's 33s right here. Don't you move or you're going to get shot, okay? All right? Got it. Yep. That's him. Somebody get on the main air.
Get us a medic.
I'm working on it.
All right, on your belly. All right.
You got cuffs?
I got cuffs. There you go. Thank you, brother. We'll get you help, okay?
I just want to die, bro.
No, I know, but we can't allow that.
All right.
I don't want to.
Get us some scissors. Secure this scene.
Copy, I'm on the radio.
All right.
Get him in the car. He did too. I think.
You did. I did not. Okay. You did. Okay. You good? All right. You good? All right. I know. All right. Listen to me. I got to roll you off. I got to get you up on your side, okay? I got to get you up on your
Tim's
side.
on the way. We should be there in 30.
Got you. All right. Where are you hit at, bro? Yep. On your leg. He's all hit right here. I know. He's hitting his arm once. Need a medic here now. Where's our kid? Okay, we got him. He's hit once in the arm. All right, hit the side here. Hit the side. Okay, you'll be fine. Hey, look. You know what's good about this? Sit up, okay? You're gonna be fine.
I can't move my leg.
I know. Okay.
509, this is Tim's. Where do you guys need us?
There you go. How's that?
Dennison and second.
Okay, we're gonna leave you sit here like this. Take a deep breath.
Copy that. We're heading that way.
Okay.
Should be about a
move
minute.
your car. Block that road. You're on shell cases. Get that road blocked.
Quit holding me up, please.
We can't lay you down. Okay, you've got to stay up. I'll hold you up. All right. You just relax. Lean back into there. There you go. You're gonna be fine. Listen. Hey, nothing's ever that bad. All right.
It is.
Okay. Well. Darnell, right? Do you have anything else on you? Do you have any more guns? Yes? Where the guns at? Where's the other gun at? I don't... Darnell. Hey! Sorry. Darnell. Do you have anything else on you? Yeah, he said he had a gun. Well, I don't... Nope. Just stay back, okay, please? Stay back! Hey, okay. Okay, we're making good witnesses. You're fine, ma'am. You're fine. We got to get him. Take him. I know. Hey.
Go ahead.
Hey, you guys, somebody get.
Yeah, Tuesday notified. He's a surviving 500.
I know you. What'd they say? I'm sorry. What'd you say?
Hey, have that cruiser start getting scene tape. Let the medic in. Step back. They're fine. It's fine. Yeah, we need a cart. We need a cart. Cart. I know. Stay with me, bro. Keep talking to me, guys. Hey, 511. If anyone is listening at home, officer support. Sit here, legs, arms. Which way do you want his head? Here. Right there? Okay. Up! Do you need him out of the cuffs? Yeah, we're gonna need him out. All right. We're gonna have to. Hey, listen. We're gonna roll you over one more time. All right. Gotta get those cuffs off you. So you relax. Clean up. There you go. He's hitting the arm, leg, arm, and I believe left chest. Okay. I get a good search on him. I am. Everything's got to come off. You taking him down enough in this? Yeah. All right, that's fine. Pull this off. All right. Cut the cuff off. Cut your belly. You guys gonna help us lift? Yep. Grab the wing, grab the head. 1, 2, 3. Down. We're down. Hold on. There, Brian. Hey, don't move your arm.
He did.
Yeah.
I don't, but he had a revolver, so I don't know.
Yeah. I was trying to get out of the car, brother.
What do you mean?
I was trying to get out to help you. I was trying, dude. It was everything I could. I couldn't get out of the fucking car.
All right, they're going to be putting this down a stretcher and kind of talking about it. There's really no more action, so I'm going to fast forward this to the end. And there it is. Columbus, Ohio. Police SWAT officers located and shot this 33-year-old Darnell Jones, a fugitive wanted for murder of his 13-year-old daughter. After a tense confrontation in the Victorian Village neighborhood, we saw what happened. He was shot. Looked like he attempted some suicide by police, but decided after he got struck with rounds that he didn't continue that. Anybody have any questions or anything else they would like to see?
No. He was incredibly quiet.
He had a whole lot going on. If you killed your own daughter, yeah, you should have the balls to do it yourself. You should put that 38 to your own head.
We had one like
Back
that.
it up to the beginning again, Joe, please.
Last week, a guy killed his 7-year-old daughter and then shot himself during a police pursuit. He died this morning.
Pull your fucking hand out of your. I swear to God. Dude, show me your fucking hands right now. Pull your fucking hand out of your. I swear to God, pull your.
Shots fired. Shots fired. Dennis in a second.
What you wanted to see, Burton, or more?
That's what I wanted to see because it looked like he fired through his pocket toward the officer. The first time I saw it, right here.
Did he not? Because he made the face, like right there.
I don't know if that was where he got hit. He got hit in the legs and the arm. Let's go back and let's see if we can listen to that.
Don't fucking move. Pull your fucking hand out of your. I swear to God, pull your. Dude, show me your fucking hands right now. Pull your fucking hand out of your. I swear to God, pull your.
Yeah, see, before
show me your fucking
the
hands
cop
right
fires,
now. Pull your
the guy
fucking hand
makes
out
the
of your.
face
I swear to God,
like
pull
he's
your.
about to take action.
Dude, show me your fucking
And his
hands
hands
right now.
loose.
Pull your fucking hand out of your. I swear to God, pull your.
I don't know, maybe the cop did shoot him first.
Okay. Any issues there?
No.
Not for me. I'm going to no-bill this now.
All right, some no bills. Corey, what do you think?
No bill.
Squirrel Nuts likes law enforcement did a great job working with him to tell medics to arrive. Yeah, I think they did exactly what they were supposed to do after gunshots had flown. So no Bill Corey, no Bill Burton. What about Bruce Wayne?
No bill.
Fidgy.
No bill. Sorry.
Lawyer Joe, welcome. What do you think?
No bill.
John Cox, North Carolina, a.k.a. John Boy. What do you think?
Not a bill.
Not a bill for North Carolina. Jason?
No bill.
I agree. Actually, I think the officers did a commendable job. He approached as he should. We've got a guy who's wanted for killing a child. We heard the altercation. I think everything was right, and I think they handled it correctly afterwards.
I do have a quick question. When did they pick up the pistol that was kicked off into the garden there?
Did they kick it off in the garden, or did they? Let's go back to that. I thought they
because it was laying next to him, and one of the officers shoved it off with his foot into the mulch.
We're gonna see it. We're gonna see it. You see
right
the officer
there it is.
there. Still there. Okay.
Yes, he kicked it off.
He kicks it off into the mulch, and nobody ever picked it up.
I don't know that I would be so concerned with that if I've got the scene secured, which it looks like they do, because this is going to be when you put the pieces of the puzzle back together. It's better that weapon lie where we could see it on the video. But I didn't see it, and they could have picked it up, man. There's a lot of video that you can't necessarily watch that area. There's a lot of officers there, but I don't know that if I was. What about you, Jason? You arrived on this scene. Would you've? He's handcuffed. He's not necessarily an issue. Would you be picking anything up?
Nope. I'm going to leave it sit there where it is. It's safe. Let the crime scene unit come in and take photos.
Yeah, I agree.
Fair enough.
They can put it back together.
Fair enough. That was the reason for my question. I wanted other opinions.
And also, you'll notice that after this, the other officers arrived to give the shooter, the officer that shot, some assistance. You notice how he backs off. This is legal reasons. He is going to be under the gun. He's going to have to explain for his actions, and anything he say can and will be used against him in a court of law. So you notice how there's one point here. Let me try to find that. There's one point where somebody arrives on the scene and he waves him off. They have some sort of discussion, but not the shooter, but the other officer kind of waves him off. Let's see if we can get to that. Oh, it's right there.
I'm sorry. What'd you say?
Hey, how that cruiser start getting?
What'd they say? I'm sorry. What'd you say?
Hey, how that cruiser start getting scene tape?
Did you see that, Jason?
I did. That was his partners protecting him.
No, 100%. Just at that time, at this point, this guy needs to take a break. Don't say anything. He's going to give a full statement. Anything he says out of emotion or knowing your good friend Joe, he might make a joke even, would be used against him. So it's good. At this point, you need to back away, let other officers take control of the scene, and you get prepared for what you're about to go through. Because even as clean as this one is, he's going to go through it.
Yeah, and I don't mean protecting in a bad way, like it's a dirty thing. I mean, you just shot somebody. You need to go over there, just be quiet. And I'd put somebody with him and just say, just chill out. You know, the shooting I was in, the frickin' city administrator showed up and walked up to me and said, "What happened?" And I'm like, I'm not talking to you. It's that cop did that dude a favor.
Now, 100%.
Can you remind me again how they knew he shot his daughter?
It just says that he was. They had SWAT units out looking for him.
Oh, okay. So it didn't just happen.
13-year-old daughter. Well, I don't know if it happened like that morning, or I don't know when that happened.
Right. I was thinking he was coming from the building and she lived with her mother or something. I had a whole backstory going on. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm sure you did. We always do. We like the backstory. That's more fun. But we don't know what it is, and he didn't sustain life. Those injuries didn't kill him, so he'll stand trial for the murder of his daughter, which is, I just can't imagine. Just really can't. Oh, there you go. He was under surveillance. Toledo police alerted agencies, possible whereabouts. His daughter, whatever her name was found dead inside an abandoned home in Toledo, with the coroner ruling the death a homicide caused by multiple deep cuts to her neck. How could you do that to your child? Jones, who had removed her from the home without consent, was identified as the last person seen with her before she vanished. Investigators had not disclosed why he was in possession of a walkie-talkie at the time of the arrest. Of course, Ohio Bureau of Criminal Investigation is now reviewing the officer-involved shooting. But and you can tell when he approaches, like, hey, man, and he didn't come out pulling guns or anything. They knew what he looked like, and they wanted to talk to him. He was a suspect in his own child's murder. But we all saw his reaction to the law enforcement officers, kill me, which, you killed your daughter, stabbing her in the neck. Yeah, those shots should have been a little higher and maybe around the nose and eyes region. That's just hard for me to.
It's just, yeah, that's horrible. It's absolutely horrible.
All right, our good friend Big Ron is taking a night off. He's had a pretty rough day. He kind of gave me a rundown on his day, so I don't blame him. But we've got two from Jacksonville, Florida. Let's check them out.
On the evening of March 11th, 2025, Lay's husband went into his home garage and found Lay seated in the driver's seat of her car with a towel wrapped around her head. Although the car was parked, it was running with the garage door closed. Lay's husband immediately opened a door to the garage to ventilate the space. Lay and her husband then argued, opening and closing the garage door until Lay armed herself with a handgun. In response, Lay's husband called police for help. After police received the call of an armed suicidal person, multiple patrol officers responded.
Okay, folks, I'm going to tell you this. When he says multiple, they did. There has to be 5 to 7 officers there, and it's going to run through a lot of those, everyone's body-worn camera. This is a public release by the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office. So, I guess it says Jacksonville Police. So, yes, Jacksonville's weird. They have a Jacksonville, I guess the Sheriff's Office is their police. But either way, we'll go through some of those. Some of those we're going to bounce through. Otherwise, it's a pretty long video, but we'll see all the pertinent ones. So suicidal woman, husband finds her in the garage trying to off herself, and law enforcement arrives.
Oh. What did he say about the flashlight?
Yeah, that's him right there.
That's him? Okay, where is she?
She's right there.
All right.
She's right there.
Let's go 6 second visual. She's walking south on the street. Cigarette in her hand. Here's to be a single zero on her left, in her right hand. She's about 5 meters from us. About 15 minutes.
Ma'am, stop walking!
Keep on the left. Keep cover. Hold there. Hold there. Sir, stay there.
Get out of the road!
Stay there.
Stay there!
Get back, sir. Come on. Sir, get back. We see you. Hey, we got your cover. Do not rush it. Can y'all see her?
I can see her. I can see her.
Where's the gun?
Guns still above her head. Still in her hand.
Let go of it now. Let go of the gun.
She's not in her hands, but it's above her head.
Do not move up.
Ma'am, slide your right arm down to your right leg.
I'm right behind you, Danny. Hold there. Man, can you hear us?
She's talking. Okay. Ma'am, to the best of your ability, put your right arm down to your right leg. Okay.
Go back in your house.
Go back in your house!
Sir, whoever's in this garage, it's the police. Close that door right now. Close this right now.
Okay.
Close it.
You got it.
Close it.
Ma'am, do not move. Put your hands.
It's above her head.
She does not have contact with it.
Ma'am, again, with the best of your ability, move your right arm down to your right leg.
Looks like you got shot in the leg.
Ma'am, stop moving your arm. She said she doesn't know. Ma'am, if you best your ability, try to roll over away from that weapon. She can't. She's saying no. You gotta move up. Stay on line. Stay on line. Get on line.
Vigil, she's walking south on the street.
Oh, shit.
Her hand. There's her right hand. You know, left. You already want that calling off. She's walking to you. You're all apprehension will cover.
Man, stop walking.
Shots fired by Rescue 268. Do not rush her. Do not rush her. Contact and cover.
Hold there.
Ma'am, stop walking.
Online.
Move up.
Hey, I got eyes. Hey, eyes. Hey, there's a Whiskey Foxtrot walking down the street right now. Hey, there's a Whiskey Foxtrot walking down the street right now.
No left. The only one that calling off is walking to you. You're all apprehension will cover.
Suspect down. She's down.
Rescue 268.
Hold on, I'm getting up on.
Get behind cover. Move. Hold there.
I'm on your rear.
Sir, stay there. Get on the road. Stay there.
Yeah. All right. So if we hold cover on her and try to get her to move away from the gun, but we can't move up on her right now.
She said she can't move away from it.
If she can't.
Ma'am, can you move?
She said she doesn't know.
You want to try and get her to move away from the gun? If she can. That's
If she
the
can.
option. If not, we have to. Have her roll to her left. Have her roll left.
One voice.
Yep.
Have her roll left.
Hey. Can you move your hands to your waist, away from the gun? Sir, go back inside.
Go in the house.
That's her husband.
All right. We have to move up if he's going. Online.
Yo, hold right there until we come online.
Sir, stop.
Back up.
Stop. All right.
Guns down, guns down.
You don't have to go back, but I missed like the last two sentences. Did she die? She died, right?
Oh, no, she did not die. She was charged with 5 counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon to police officers. Oh, hang on. Sorry, having some technical difficulties here. There's a lot to this video. Does anybody want to go back and see any of the action parts? Any parts of the story?
Not really. It was just hard to make out because how far away it was. They did show the muzzle flashes, but it's still, even with that video, you just can't tell with the muzzle flashes. But I have no doubt.
Yeah, and that is the reports that she went from the vehicle from the original 911 call. She goes into the street. She's armed with a firearm. When law enforcement shows up, you see the response, and she engages law enforcement, and then they engage her back with non-life-threatening gunshot wounds. Go figure.
Did I see earlier, or did somebody say that she was trying to off herself in the garage?
Original 911 call. Husband comes in. She's got a towel wrapped around her head. She's sitting in a vehicle with the garage door shut and running, an attempted suicide. He opens the door, airs it out, calls the law enforcement for help. They arrive, and I think subsequent calls, he says that she's armed. So they came knowing that she's armed. All right, here's the point where you'll be able to see the flashes. They're going to... Let me see if I can pause this. You see where the bright lights are? I think she is just to the left of that. I'm sorry, just to the right of that.
Okay.
Do you see her on the ground? She's white on the ground. And that's where she was standing, engaging law enforcement. There it is.
Can you back up just a little bit again? I thought I was looking further than that.
And it shows her muzzle flash as she engages officers. All right, let's run around the room here, Corey.
No, Bill.
Burton.
No, Bill. When I saw the muzzle flash that she shot first, absolute no, Bill.
Very good. Squirrel, I believe officers were in 2 groups that were actually 90 degrees from each other. So yes, there was no crossfire issues there. I do not believe. It wasn't until after she was down that officers started to approach with the strobe light. Fidgy.
No, Bill.
Bruce Wayne.
That's a no bill for me.
Very good. Lawyer Joe.
No bill.
John Cox, John Boy from North Carolina.
Yeah, no bill. And did you say that was her with the strobe light, flashlight?
And that was an officer that was approaching.
Oh, okay.
It was an officer's strobe light.
Yeah, no bill.
Jason.
I think the officers did a really good job here. I commend them for one voice. I like that comment, just one voice talking to her, but good job. No bill.
And Squirrel, I want to point out this. You see the woman, she's in a white shirt. And this is the second group of officers that are 90 degrees. So she's lying directly in front of them. The officers are not beyond there. They are a hard 90-degree right on the street that she's laying in. So there wasn't a crossfire situation that I saw. I'm not saying it wasn't, but I didn't, from watching the body-worn cams going through this, because I edited some of it because this went on for quite some time. I did not see any of that crossfire situation. But the night's young, so calm down. We can get there. I say it's a no bill as well. And I think we need to go to, well, you know what? Let's go 2 days later, Jacksonville, Florida.
Today we are releasing information regarding an officer-involved shooting that occurred in the 9800 block of Rebald Avenue in Jacksonville, Florida on March 12, 2025. The morning of March 12, 2025, Officer A.C. Galding was working a traffic deployment in the area of Trout River Boulevard on Jacksonville's north side.
And boom, I'm going to hold you hostage. Folks, we're getting low reach, and some of it's my fault. I don't have enough time to actually do maybe some promoting on X that I probably should be doing, but I've learned something that really helps us. If everyone on X would do me a favor and quote retweet this stream out, we'll see that and we'll share it as well. It actually helps boost us out there and get more reach, that maybe we can get some new folks in here that hadn't seen the show before, maybe try to grow what we do. So if you would do that, I super appreciate it.
Officer Galding attempted to conduct a traffic stop on a vehicle driven by White at the intersection of Trout River Boulevard and Rebald Avenue. After Galding activated his emergency lights, White was slow to stop, driving past several places to safely stop, until he eventually pulled into a driveway in the 9800 block of Rebald Avenue and immediately opened the vehicle's driver's side door.
Perspectives on things that aren't informed by some sort of foreign power.
Stay in the cars. Traffic 6-6, shots fired. Traffic 6-6, shots fired. Trout River, Limb Turner. Traffic 6-6, it's going to be Trout River Rebald. Trout River Rebald. I'm hit in my foot. Bravo Mike, he's got a rifle on gun. I'm retreating back. Get back! Get back! Get back! Get back!
A lot of people just want to be nosy. They want to come out there and see the shooting, and they possibly can get shot.
Get fucking back, you dumb shit!
Because the police are just killing people again, man. People need to come out in the streets, make sure that this doesn't happen.
Where is he?
Like they're gonna stop it. He said,
okay,
get back,
I had to
dumb
just
shit.
laugh. Get back in there, you dumb shits.
Yeah, I love that.
I mean, after you hear gunfire,
It's a Bravo Mike long
let
gun.
me go check it out.
I'm holding this corner. He's going to be northwest.
Well, everybody wants to get it on camera and then try to go viral.
I like that they use a NATO alphabet, though, and not the weird made-up shit that other departments seem to use.
No, you police used to use police phonic alphabet.
Or in front of mine. He's possibly shot. He's possibly going to be heading away from the intersection of Rebald and Trout, down Rebald.
Ambulance looks like
Hey!
they're gonna give me the morphine. That foot's got to start hurting here pretty quick.
It's gonna be over there. You want me to stay with you or what? Stay with me. We'll start this corner right here. He's gonna be in this area.
Oh, they got the Zoom footage.
Okay, having ring cams and other kinds of like doorbell cams makes it a lot easier, a lot better to like watch these because you get different angles that aren't just police. I kind of like it. Thank you for having ring doorbells, everyone.
Say that again.
These like cameras, the like ring doorbells and the security cameras from like private homes and businesses and whatnot. I like that it kind of gives you a different perspective on these. That it's kind of, you don't see directly from the cop. You see like what an average person sitting in their house is going to look out and see, and it just kind of gives you a different perspective to see what's going on.
Depending on where you sit, depends on what you see.
And as you see that he exits the vehicle,
I
he
mean,
has
yeah,
that
like
rifle in his
here,
hand.
we wouldn't have seen like him reach out and gangster style start shooting at the cop.
He probably got a dash cam.
Well, yeah, but I mean, this gives you like a clear view. So I'm like, oh, I got to go make sure my camera is like charged up.
I think as many cameras you could have that caught a little piece of this scene would be helpful.
Oh, I agree. I like that there's another kind of unbiased, unfocused view that's just right there.
Because really, what you're saying is that the police didn't fiddle with this. They'll fiddle with their own. They'll lose their own.
That is not what I said in any way, shape, or form.
It's where you're going.
No, it's actually not. I like that this is a clear view from the front. It is a completely different view than what the cop had. And with the whole people running out of their houses.
Wouldn't any camera that's not the body worn camera of the officer be a different view of what the cop had?
Yeah, but not the front, like direct head on. Like the house security cameras and the doorbells are like head on.
Has the cop already been shot?
They're only head on depending where this one is located. They're located all kinds of different places.
Okay.
I just got one question. When are y'all getting married?
Cheese and rice.
Has the cop already been shot? I missed something there.
Yes. What's happening now is the officer's response. All that we heard with the officer say, "Get back in your house." Walking down the street, he'd walked off to your right as it goes to get away from the guy that's shooting him. And he pulled on into his own home. I think that's his mother.
So he never exited the vehicle.
Oh no, he tried to. No, he tried to.
Yeah.
And he had the gun in his hand.
Look, they're asking him to step out now.
His mama didn't seem all that upset.
Yeah, she's pretty upset, I imagine. You notice how Jason and I talk about there's a lot of times in police work where you're talking to each other and kind of bouncing off what's the best thing to do in this situation. And bouncing off the legality of what you're about to do and all that business. It's what these officers are doing now.
Lord. They need all kinds of remedial training.
I don't think they do. The officer that knows what's going on is half a block away with a bullet in his foot.
But he thought that he ran off. They're just walking up on a car nonchalantly.
No, they didn't. We'll go back, but no, they didn't.
Are they talking about like how dead he is, or I'm
I'm
confused.
trying to figure out exactly what to do, both through safety, legal, and this is an investigation. Somebody's got some background music going on.
Somebody's trying to serenade you.
Yeah, I thought that was from the ring cam or something.
So you wouldn't hear anybody talking, but it's
Corey,
got some
was that
background
you
music, the
trying
ring
to
camera.
serenade him?
What kind of model is that on the ring camera?
Sure.
Okay, what parts do we want to go back and look at them?
Go back when the other officers arrived.
So you want to see responses? You want to see the response? Let's go all the way back to first responding officers on the scene. Here we go. Police, dark gray SUV. Police, white SUV. This car says, had nothing to do with this. I'm getting the hell out of here. Another dark SUV. Police. Now, remember, there's another car that stopped by the officer shot. So they're getting that radio traffic, not knowing which way to go. Now they're like, okay, they thought he ran. Nope, he's there. He's sitting in the car. So she's like, oh, shit. She's got her pistol out. Then she puts her pistol back up. Officer on the far side, she approaches good traffic stop style, felony traffic stop style. But watch their demeanor when they see him. See old school here by the passenger or the driver's side door?
Yeah.
Everybody's looking at a DRT. That's why he put his gun up. But yet, they're not 100% he's DRT, but I'm sure what they're seeing are injuries. How would you say it in a report, Jason? Injuries not compatible with life?
Yeah, he walked up and said he's dead.
Yeah, at this point, they're thinking, I got lots of paperwork.
But then they go back, it's like, well, maybe he's not dead. Maybe we should do something. Now, I will say, though, the backup on this says that that he died at the hospital. So maybe they started giving CPR and they didn't actually call it till he got to the hospital. But I'm pretty sure from training and experience that he was DRT upon the first officer's arrival. All right, what are the pieces you want to see? You want to continue watching this little mess right there? We're going like, yeah, that fool's dead, but yeah, maybe we should do something. I don't know. They're just trying to figure it out. You got some rookies there. You got some green officers for sure. But I don't think they did bad. Jason, do you think they did bad?
No, watching the second time, the first time I kind of thought, what they walked up there, but then that older guy came up and turned his head away from the suspect. He knew he was gone. So I agree with you. Right now, they're all going, holy shit, this is a dead person in a car. What do we do now?
Right. I mean, it's for some of those officers, it could be the first time they've ever seen a DRT. And what we're saying, folks, is that whatever injuries this gentleman had sustained from the gunfire was significant enough that you could just look at him and go, I'm probably not going to do chest compressions on that because there's nothing you can do. They were gone before you got there. Let's watch this little gunfight go on. What'd you think about the gunfight, Jason? Does anybody have any issues? Does anybody wants to contend that the officer did not have authority to use deadly force in this situation to defend himself?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then let's talk tactics. You guys like talking tactics, boy. Telling police what kind of training they need. But
we are the experts.
Without a doubt. I've heard it every week, and I love it.
No, that was my thought was, damn, that escalated real quick.
on things that aren't informed by some sort of foreign power.
Listen to this.
Stay in the cars. Traffic 66.
Foreign power.
Stay in the cars.
Hang on, I'm going to pause for them. And it was at this point that his spirit left his body, because this officer's got his game on. He's got a side shot. This dude's sitting profiled to him in a driver's seat. He really can't get away, and he's got zero cover. All he's got to do is put them bullets inside that doorway, and he's most likely hitting something on that guy that's going to take his life away. But I think this is the point. Don't you think, Jason?
Yeah, this officer, phenomenal job.
And
engage,
kept his cool with a bullet in his foot.
Yep.
Yes. Well, now let's talk about that. He didn't really have cover. So what's he doing?
He went to cover. Well, he engaged, and then he stepped aside, moving target, find cover, reload. And when I watched the first time, I actually was kind of smiling a little bit that this officer did a great job.
What would most officers have a tendency to do in this situation, which would be a tactical disadvantage to them now? But where would they typically go for their first cover?
Behind their car.
And folks, when we do that now, he has just as much cover as you do. It's almost a Mexican standoff. This officer, this is some pretty good tactics. As he's engaged, he turns to where it makes the shooter in the car, because he's sitting in the seat now, so it's not easy for him to aim. So well-aimed shots aren't necessarily coming at him. So he moves it in oblique. Now, he is going to cover, but he's moving it at oblique with his weapon out, and he is just putting bullets on that door. And the reason I stopped it here, because this is the best vantage point for this officer to put 2 or 3 rounds, kill shots onto the driver at this point. Before, the driver had some cover, some concealment through the side of the body. As he traveled, he goes down. That makes it kind of a little difficult for you. It's good for you because, less exposed necessarily. But he's also got he's shooting through and he did. He shot through the shrub. Could have got some kill shots there, but he's shooting like the crook is shooting at him. It's bullets and it's not well-aimed shots. But I think this is the point where that door opened, and you can see, I think, some impacts in glass here. Let's see if we can see that. It's such a hard spot to catch.
Essentially what he did is he put the advantage back on him by position.
Am I seeing a splash in there? I'm seeing a splash inside the car. Once again, I just think these are well-aimed shots. And this may not be interesting to anyone else, but I thought this was a phenomenal job. And on top of that, this guy's got getting shot in the foot. Never done to me, but it's got to be painful. A lot of bones down there.
It was judicious marksmanship.
So, yeah, I'm going to give him some props on this. Anybody else have any more comments they want to talk about on this one?
Like I said, I smiled when I watched this officer's reaction, but this is 2 videos now where a thought came to my mind. Where the tourniquets at? We carry tourniquets if you're shot in the foot. I'm just an observation. I hope officers are carrying tourniquets.
Well, that's interesting, Jason, because most of the other videos we've watched, one of the first things they call for is a tourniquet.
I really think it depends on the agency that you work for, depending on their types of training. Our agency, when I was last a police officer, was just starting. We did it on the TAC team. Depends on your level. Patrolmen maybe not would have a tourniquet, but the TAC team members, obviously, we did. But I think it took a while for that to get down to where it needed to be. Some of that, I think the global war on terror helped out a lot, because in the Army, you did not everyone used to carry a tourniquet, whereas now they do. They even have particular clothing, and there's TAC gear that's got particular clothing with the tourniquets built in like arms and legs.
Yeah, that's true. When I started, I'd never heard of the word tourniquet. Probably 15 years later, we all carry one now.
Man, I learned about it in the Army. We used to make them out of gauze and bandage and a stick, and take some blood, put a T on their forehead, and move out.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Y'all remember that?
Yeah.
I remember learning to
Yeah.
like take either your shirt or their shirt. If you don't have anything else, cut it and start to use that with a stick.
Now you take the first aid kit, the tails on the first
Or
aid
some
kit.
550 paracord.
I'm telling you how he's trained. You take the bandage out of their first aid kit. Don't use yours because you might need it, and you wrap that around the wound, and then put a stick on it. You can make a compression bandage like that. If you needed a tourniquet, you put it where you needed and just twist it up in a stick. But if you did a tourniquet, you had to put a T on the forehead with dirt or blood or something. I just always found it a kind of a humorous task. It's like, all right, you're good to go. Put a T on your head, and then that's what you're supposed to do. Get up and leave. Leave them. You got to continue mission.
Yeah, he'll be all right.
So anyway, we've really gone in a sideways on this conversation, which is a frozen screen up. What does this say? Snake Snaff Solutions has a fantastic compact tourniquet, fits in a pistol mag pouch, built-in chem light. I'm going to say, like I've always said, is my plan is not to get shot.
Well, I may need it for when I'm here in Chicago, because you just never know what you may roll up on here in Chicago. Now, I carry what's that, Med 1? I carry that in my car kit.
Jason,
I've rolled up.
Jason, you know what the problem? What I'm hearing here is between Lawyer Joe, myself, and probably Burton, we can tell you how to make one out of a stick and a shirt. And you guys are like, oh, let me go spend some money so I can have a fancy one. I can stop your blood with your own T-shirt and a stick. And I'm going to put a T on your forehead because I don't have to stay there. I'm going to leave. So when somebody finds you, know that you've got a tourniquet. And I think you're supposed to record the time. Doc's probably going to correct me. I think you're supposed to record the time so you lose their limb.
Well, I'm talking about the kit, the time I had to use my kit when I rode up on an accident and somebody flew out the car. So yeah, it didn't work so well. But yeah, it would be nice. I could have went and got a stick and a shirt and all other stuff, but you know.
Boot laces also work if you got nothing else.
Oh, that quiet them up.
I try to avoid the use of a tourniquet is my real tactic. But let's go to this one. This is going to be Racine, Wisconsin. Now, Corey gave this to me late, kind of long, but this was super interesting, and it'll leave us lots to speak about, I promise you. But let's go to Racine, Wisconsin.
Mount Pleasant Squads, be advised we're taking a report of a possible family trouble or domestic with shots fired. We had two callers. Initial caller said his mom and dad were fighting. There were no weapons. That was a female, I believe, by the name of. A second caller stated the reference to the shots and someone possibly being shot. They said, hurry up. When asked what was happening, apparently the caller in the background said, don't call PD, and then the line disconnected.
No one is shot, but they're saying that they're inside or in the back. Suspect left in a Range Rover.
You got a color on it?
Possibly green.
Copy. Sounds like that party that left goes by the name of Timothy.
Showed the Range Rover went eastbound on 16th Street and then northbound on South Memorial, and that was at 10:22.
Yeah, that's it. Copy. Party running southbound on foot.
Cutting through the field. You continue south.
Sorry about your friends. Oh yeah, go ahead. I mean, police, come out with your hands up. You will be shot.
Squad B advised on Pleasant said they believe he still had the firearm when he left the residence. Out with the drone.
I hear him moving around over here still.
Look at the squad over there. They're over there. Behind you. Behind you. That's where they are.
What's that?
A little bit south. There's 129 in one of the backyards. They just heard the last break.
That was us. That was us in the parking lot here.
Copy. President say he has a firearm on him. He is. Oh, I can't tell right now. Stand by.
Hey, copy.
He had a white beater on, dark pants. Okay. I think he had glasses. He was bald.
Did he skip right to it?
Nobody kept grabbing to his right side.
Okay. 23, I'll be sending up the drone. Copy. He's caution unknown if he still has a firearm or not.
401 dispatch, just for 43. We got a squad of us currently clearing the soccer field in the park.
For dispatch, canine's driving around now.
Timothy, we got the canine coming around now. You either come out on your own or the dog's dragging you out.
Man,
You got 10 seconds till it comes around the corner.
Listen, don't bring the dog, man.
Dog's coming.
Timothy, the dog is coming. You need to crawl out.
As close as the drone is, I can't.
That car pulling up right now, that's the canine car. Now crawl your ass out.
That's the canine. Make a choice now. Yep.
There you go. Come on, keep crawling. Come on. Show us your hands.
Hands up.
Show us your hands. Come out of those bushes. Come out of the bushes right now.
Cannot see his right hand.
I can't see his right hand either.
Pick your right hand.
Timothy. Show us your hands. Step out of those bushes. Step out of the bushes. Show us your hands.
Or have him turn around and just stand straight up.
Then stand straight up and face away from us. Get up out of those bushes, Timothy. Stand up. Stand up.
Well, what he's put up is his right hand. Or I'm sorry, his left hand.
Show me your hands.
Stand back up. Show us your other hand. Step out of those bushes right now. Step out of those bushes right now and show us your hands.
You can lift a broken hand. Show us your hands.
You can get out of those bushes. Now stand up and step out of those bushes. You can get up out of those bushes. Stand back up and step out. Timothy, stand up and step out of those bushes. You were just standing a second ago. You can do it again and step out.
It's not how this works. It's not how this works. Come out, you can get medical treatment. Then start rolling.
You see anything on that drone or no?
No, he's covering his right hand with his left arm right now.
Timothy, stand up and step out of those bushes right now. Timothy, stand back up and step out of those bushes. You were just standing a minute ago. Do it again.
Can't see because he's covering his right hand.
You want help? Start rolling out.
Crawl out. You can do it. You just stood up. You can crawl out of there. How are we supposed to? We cannot see that. We need you to step out of those bushes. Then we will help you.
Come out of the bushes with your hands up. It's not that hard.
As the standoff progresses, even more officers arrive on scene. At this point, Timothy is surrounded by well over a dozen officers.
No.
You know he was.
Auckland, we got pepper ball?
Yeah, but we're not sending this.
Send pepper ball down there. We gotta get him.
I can't hear what he's saying.
So he has asthma.
That's what he's worried about?
So his hands are broken, his leg is broken, he has a...
Timothy,
He needs
crawl
medical
out of there.
attention quick.
Enough of this.
He's telling them that he's hurt and they just won't go help him.
You stood up. You can crawl.
That sucks.
My leg is turned the other way, man. Yeah, I think it's gotten deeper in there.
That sucks.
Yeah. Start coming out this
Come our way, Timothy. Come our way. You cannot go deeper in there. You need to step out this way.
804 to South. If you could get us a shield, he's not moving at all. Offer. I'll be coming down the hill. Copy. The safest way is to probably drive through the park entrance.
The dog can come in for you.
Stand up. You stood a minute ago. You can do it again. Stand up and show us your hands.
You're moving right now.
Sounds like they still have a couple of real police officers working in Racine, Wisconsin. Excuse me.
All right, show us your other hand now.
All right. Take my spot for
Keep it going. Come on. Show us both hands.
Both hands are currently clear, but obviously he's got darkness all around him. So.
Right. Does she have a shield? Auckland?
Sal's on his way with one. He'll be here in a second.
I said, does she have one?
K9, you got a shield?
I don't.
All right.
Maybe you got a shield?
We got one coming.
Do you want to run back and get it?
No, they got one coming.
They got a shield right there.
Timothy, show us your hands.
Show us the other one. You're going to jail regardless. You might as well come out now.
You can't even see what's left on him.
I guess shit.
Both hands are clear, but there's still darkness. He's holding his waist right now. Is he? He's got it tucked down. His left hand's tucked out. Okay. His right hand. His right hand is tucked out.
Oh.
Crawl out, Timothy. Just inch your way out. You can do it. Then drag it out. You can crawl out of there. His leg ain't fucking broke. He just stood up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have any weapons.
Trying to roll.
Already did.
Crawl out of there, and we'll get you the medical attention you want.
Put the other one up. Grab it with
Crawl out of those bushes, Timothy. Crawl out. Roll out. Get out of those bushes.
So both hands are clear, but he's been refusing to lift his arms up. He's surrounded by darkness, so I figured we'll go arrest him. I got 5 minutes of his drone crash.
Okay. You got any lefties here? I'm on the left side of my shield.
Who's left?
I am not a lefty.
You got any lefties?
No.
Hey, listen, man. I don't have any weapons. Y'all just help me out, man.
Coming in hands.
Take a rifle on either side and then
Y'all just help me out.
we'll go behind you. Yep. Chase on the left, Kyle on the right.
Put those hands in the air, Timothy. Keep that left foot in the air, then. Keep it off.
Away from my squad car.
To the right.
Turn away. Put your left hand in the air and turn away. High in the air. Higher.
Moving. Keep moving.
Put your hands in the air.
Put your left hand up!
Put it up! Hands up!
Put your hands up!
You will be shot!
Oh, okay.
Shots fired! Shots fired! Shots fired!
Get down! 35 shots fired.
Shots fired.
You're covered! Get out! You got that?
Keep coming! Keep coming! Back it up!
Back! Is everybody okay?
Everybody okay?
Everybody good?
Okay. I'm good. Good?
All officers are okay. Suspect is down. Shots are...
Jackson was a mess.
Disregard that this doesn't go to this goes to the officer that was shot in the foot. So I was running. I literally Corey gave me this like 45 minutes before the show started. And I'm still editing other videos. Okay, what do we want to go back and look at? Any discussions on this?
Well, he didn't have a gun.
Yeah, I watched this the other day, and I thank God they had a drone on scene.
He did have a gun.
Yeah. I think
No, he didn't. He was just.
Yes,
no,
he did.
He was
But
just,
you could see the gun when he lifted his hand right towards
His
the end.
leg
he didn't.
turned the
He
other
didn't have
way.
no gun, and his hand was broke, and his leg was broke too.
And he had asthma.
Yeah,
Both hands were, or yeah, he said my hands are broken, then his leg, then he had asthma. I don't know how any of you have patience with that shit though. I'd just be like, all right, we're just gonna lay here until you die then. Good luck.
Well, no, I'm not going to stay there all night. What are you going to commit the entire? This is a whole shift that's out here. What about somebody else that needs law enforcement assistance?
Then I'd be like, hurry up and pass out from your asthma soon. We got shit to do.
Well, when the guy said they only had like 5 minutes left on the drone.
Yeah, it was running out of battery.
Yeah.
They need to have backup batteries.
Yeah, this went on for pretty
Here we
good
go.
long.
Let's get the critique in there. What they should have done.
Well, no, they
I just want them to have backup batteries.
Once the drone was done, they should have left.
What about taser? What about pepper ball? How come they didn't try that?
Well, that's what I was going to ask. So why did he say no on the pepper ball?
Well, if you engage him even with non-lethal and say he does sustain an injury, now you really have to go in there and get him. It could drive him back in. It could cause also a situation where if you do have to go in there and get him, it's all over the grass and his surroundings.
Well,
You're going to roll around in it as well. I don't know that I saw the advantage of the pepper ball on this one. But Jason, I'd like to hear your opinion on that.
No, let's get the pepper ball expert.
I'm not. I would have pepper sprayed, pepper balled the shit out of that grass there. I think they're non-lethal versus less lethal. You could have went non-lethal, which pepper ball is considered non-lethal. If they would have just sprayed that in there, I guarantee you the situation's over.
Man, I don't know. I think I see some factors there that would make my
No, I would not be concerned about getting a kick back up in my face. The fact that he is not complying, the fact that either send the dog in or go pepper ball.
But Jason, every part of his body was broken.
I don't give two shits what he's saying.
He just kept naming off different injuries.
No, and that's where I was like,
and he had asthma.
They're like, you can raise your hand with a broken.
All right, on the serious note. So you're saying that you would have gone less lethal kinetic on him to force him to come out of there?
yes, absolutely. I would have tried it. I would have fired pepper balls into the ground in front of him, get in his face and his nose. It will incapacitate him. Yes, that would be my first thing. But I'm not approaching that person because we have not seen his left hand yet. So I would have exhausted every resource I had before we start approaching that guy because he's not complying. So I'm throwing everything at him.
I don't disagree with you, but I think that I might have looked at that slightly different on the ground.
So what if they would have pepper balled? What if they would have pepper sprayed or pepper balled? The dog would have got a whiff of pepper ball or the pepper and everything, and then the dog is sneezing, and then all of a sudden he shoots the dog because he can see the dog at this point, but I know he may be incapacitated, but they don't know what he has. I'm just throwing that out there.
He shoots the dog. I'm coming through the screen at him.
That's a big what if. I start with pepper ball. I'm not sure if you guys ever seen how effective pepper ball is, and I'm not a big fan of tasers. Pepper ball is a very good tool to use, and in this case, this was the perfect moment, and I agree with John Cox. I'm not sure why they said no.
Wait a second. Are all those cops there while the cops in the back are shooting?
Yes.
I didn't catch that the first time.
Yeah.
I did, and I wanted to see this part right here.
That is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, they all dropped, but that's insane. I didn't realize that it was the cop back there firing.
He had already fired their mid drop.
What are they supposed to do?
Not shoot into a group of cops. I would think that's.
Are they shooting into the group of cops, or are they shooting to the side of the cops where the guy is shooting at the group of cops?
Well, I would figure wherever that main light is, like the brightest part of the light, is that because if that's where he's shooting, all those other cops are standing like right there.
Well, I wanted to see what the angles were, but it's really hard to tell from here. It looked like the cop with the rifle was further off to the left, where he had a clear shot for right here.
Can we backtrack off that? You have the drone up. Before the drone's battery is going dead, if they would have deployed non-lethal or less lethal in there, that drone would have picked up how he's reacting to it. And that's kind of my point is go through the stages. I think pepperball or
what's your department policy if you deploy pepperball? I mean, do you have to care for the person after you hit them with it, right?
No, pepperball is not in the same category as a taser. There's less lethal and non-lethal. Pepperball is non-lethal. So you can throw that shit in there. And if you have a drone going up there, you can watch how he's responding to it and then make a decision then. I just think I go back to what John said and I question the same thing. Why did they say no pepperball? I completely disagree with that.
I don't know, but the guy's answer was quick and snap. It makes me think there's some sort of maybe a department policy, or maybe there's the rules on how because every department will choose how they use that device sometimes differently. I don't know. I don't know that I would have gone pepperball on this. But then again, I also don't know that I would have gone. Let's get a shield and go in.
I'd go pepperball 100%. Just try it.
I thought they said they didn't.
Actually, the more you talk to me about it, Jason, you kind of talking me into it. I you know what? I do see your point. I do see your point.
I thought earlier on they said they didn't have pepperball.
Well, as the rest of the shift from the entire police department and probably a couple of surrounding agencies that didn't have anything to do arrived, a pepperball gun got on scene because there's toward the end. He said, "Yes, we've got one." He said, "No, we're not going to use it here."
Okay, that's valid.
Okay, let's look at angles again. This is no shots fired. They're moving in. They've got a point man with a shield, so their formation is not horrible. They're kind of tucked in. The shooter is more to the brighter light and the taller, lighter green grass is that little hole that he's in. So this guy with the body worn cam, from his just a rough looking at his the orientation of his barrel, he is far left of the group. He kicks off rounds, and he kicks off rounds. Quite frankly, I mean, it's danger close, but you have that. I think everyone did actually a pretty good job there as far as the support by fire folks.
And he had left a note or something in his car, didn't he?
Yeah, he had.
Wait,
I forget the whole story, and I had to cut some of it out, guys, because this was like long.
So he told the lady that he was in a car with had told him that his last words was "I love you," something to the effect of that, and he took off running because they went.
So he kills his wife, gets in a car, right? And he drives off. He meets some other chick. I don't know if he knew her or just like, "Hey, what's up, girl?" And gets in the car with him. They drive around. He gets pulled over. He runs. He stops. He tells her to get out, or "I got to go, baby girl," or something like that. And he takes off and runs from the police. And this is where it ended up. That's my best summation of the story.
Yeah, his mom.
Okay, right there. They're moving off to the right to envelop. Sorry, B.
Right. Well, they didn't want to be highlighted in their own light, so they're going around their light.
Okay, so how many orders do you need to give somebody? I mean, this goes on forever. He was standing up at one point. At some point, you had to say, "This guy's full of shit." They gave him every opportunity in the world. They said, "We'll help you. Just roll out." His arm's broken. His other arm's broken. His leg's broken. At what point? All right, light his ass up with less lethal. Just drop the shit in it. Throw the drone over it again, and see how he's responding to it, and then go from there.
Okay. Would you assign this as criminal?
The cops?
Yes.
No. No, not criminal.
You make a point, because let's go back to the drone traffic where the drone guy's telling him what's going on. It's like, his leg's not broke. It's not like they really believed his feigned injuries. You could tell by their crosstalk.
No, not criminal. I'm talking tactically. I'm not in that moment, so I'm not going to criticize them. I'm looking at this as a Monday morning quarterback. They did what they thought they needed to do, and everything leads to a lesson. But no, it's not criminal. I think they did their due diligence with what they had at the time. I do disagree with the guy who came in and said, no, not pepper ball at this moment. But that's not a criminal thing. That was his decision for the situation they had. But not criminal, but I think it could have ended differently.
And I don't know who it was that said it. It gave me the impression that this was a supervisor or somebody that was in charge of this scene, a ranking officer that was in charge of the scene there that made that, because he gave it real quick. There was no kickback on it, like, well, what do you think? Or not even discussion. Like, if there's two patrolmen there, and like Jason says to me, he's like, hey, what about the pepper ball guns? And I'm like, I don't know about that. And then he would give me his rebuttals. Like, well, I think, we could do this, just like he did here tonight. He could convince me. Oh, yeah, I hadn't thought about that. That is a good idea, and we would maybe deploy that. But there wasn't any kickback there. What do you think about that interaction, Jason?
It sounded like a supervisor to me. I'm not sure why he said what he said, but from my point of view and my experience, I will throw everything at them I can before lead. And in this case, you have to take the suspect's response to this, that he's not cooperative over and over and over again. All right, like I said, send the goddamn dog in. At what point you just say, we're done playing this game? Here's this. Here's this. Here's this. All right, now we're going this.
Well, I mean, that's kind of where they got. They just didn't end up with pepper ball. They went in to put hands on.
Well, they went,
because remember, at this point they haven't seen a weapon, and he talked about his hands were empty. That's when he said his hands were empty. That's when he it seems like they kind of got their game plan together to stack up and go. There was a conversation with the canine handler about sending the canine in, and the handler, which was the female, said, I really don't want to send her in. It looks like a little happy dog there, so maybe that's not maybe a real bite dog.
I'm saying exhaust every resource you have before you go to what they did here. They had options they could have used, and let's just see where it goes. And they went from options to let's approach him, and that's where I kind of disagree.
I don't disagree with you, but I'll go back to the crosstalk again. You didn't really hear a lot of tactics being talked about, except for when he said, let's you got a shield, pretty much. And then they started working together on putting a little formation together.
Yeah, I just know.
I've always liked that about law. It was like that for me in the military as well. When you got something like, touchy that you're about to do. Yeah, I always listened to everyone else's input, even if I was leader. If I wasn't the leader, whoever was being led by, they always listened to our input. We always seem to come up with better plans that way.
Yeah, I just know if I'm the lieutenant or sergeant on that scene, I'm blasting the shit out of him with chemical irritants and everything else to get him out of there first, and then go from there.
Okay, so no one has any issues with law enforcement actions here being justified?
No bill.
No bill.
No bill.
Yeah,
No bill.
John Cox, North Carolina.
Yeah, no bill.
John,
no.
Well, folks, those are the videos for tonight. But don't we have a little movement in 3D response? There's some interest in the great state of North Carolina for more information on this 3D response system.
I'll let John handle that one.
Yeah. So New Hanover County voted down the AI pilot program because they had asked for some financial records on said company and they pitched a fit. So anyway, they voted it down. We've been in talks, or I've actually talked to one of the Board of Education members again. He's trying to push 3D, but he wants to let the dust settle. I was informed this morning that the school board, for the ones that voted yes, got outvoted, obviously, but they're wanting to do a revote. However, the ones that voted no said we're not changing our fucking mind. Pardon my French. So I think they're going to
Okay, hang
go
on. The ones who voted no for what?
for the AI.
Okay, so the ones that said no for AI, they're going to bring AI back on a vote, and the guys that said, "Hey, we said no once, we'll say it again," so the vote's probably going to
Right.
come out the same.
Yeah, yeah. The ones that wanted it are butt hurt. For whatever reason, they're going to supposedly vote on it again.
So now, what does this do for 3D response?
After the dust settles a little bit, the school board member actually sat in on the presentation that Jason and Pete did the other day with the SBI. He likes it. He wants to move forward. And he even said, he says, I know we probably can't get it in this school year, but I'm sure we could probably get it in the 26-27 school year. So
that's reasonable.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
You bet.
He asked about install time. Jason and I had talked about that a few weeks ago, so I told him that. He was very impressed with that. Yeah, he likes it. So and I actually sent an email to both of the SBI guys today, and because there's a lot of schools in North Carolina that don't have anything. And the ones that do have something, they're using a system called Raven, and all it is a notification type system. So what I had asked today is, can we get our foot in the door on that for the schools that don't have anything, kind of like a second vendor type thing? Because I did get a list of new schools from the Department of Instruction that are going to be done in the next year or so. So I've got a list of all of those. So hopefully we can do something with this. I'm trying to hit it from a couple of different angles.
So in Minnesota, the SHIELD Act, which is our system to become a law, I'm giving a tour to a bunch of legislators next Friday, both sides of the aisle, and it's looking positive right now that this act is going to pass. I just talked to the author of the bill today, and he's got a pretty unique plan going on to get this thing to go through. So if my goal is, let's get this thing a law in Minnesota and let's see what the rest of the nation does to it.
And what this will do is it'll basically will establish a code, like a fire code for schools, that new schools being built or any renovations over a certain percentage would require the school to put in some system like yours. But you believe that yours is both competitive in price and superior to anything else that's on the market, that you have a good shot of being the provider for this, folks complying with the code?
Well, it is our system, and so yeah, that's a
well, but I mean, it's not, the law is not written that says 3D response.
No,
it's a system that has components that's well rounded like yours, maybe, but still.
Correct. It's about giving the whole code is set up to about actually creating a system to keep our kids safe and keep our teachers safe. It's not about AI or some one-trick pony thing. It's a game changer, and every person that has seen and there's people in this room, Bruce, John, who've actually seen the system, and the video that I shared the other night, to actually see what actually happens during a school shooting. And I hope people watch that video, because that's real. And it actually, every time I watch a video, I literally tear up. And to have a system in place to take your school back and not just alert through a metal detector that the gun's here,
Well, I tell you what, I'm going to pause you for a second. I'm going to ask you a question. What is the National Police Association?
I honestly don't know. Was that the podcast I did?
Well, let's take a look at it. Oop, how come that won't add to stage? Weird. Okay. Now let's take a look at it.
I think that's a podcast I did.
You know, I spend a lot of time in the media after every school shooting talking about what should have been done, what could have been done, what happened. And, you know, I was a crime prevention sergeant for a lot of years, and we always talk about how you can't measure prevention, but prevention is the key to school shootings, active shooter situations. And so I thought I'd bring on today a guy who can really talk about not just how to prevent, but how to better respond to school shootings. Lieutenant Jason Polinsky, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me on here. Appreciate it.
So you have a wealth of law enforcement experience. And so I always have to ask every guest who's a cop, why'd you become a cop, Lieutenant?
That's kind of a funny story, actually. I didn't know what I wanted to be. I went to University of Minnesota Duluth, originally majoring in wildlife management. Was not real good at chemistry and biology. Ended up on academic probation because of my grades. You're a dick joke. Went and asked my counselor, what can I do that doesn't involve math? And he said, what about law enforcement? So I switched my major, went on a ride along, and absolutely fell in love with it.
So I love that. Now, you didn't become a game guy, right? You just...
There's more to the story, folks. Come to the after party and I'll fill you in.
Became a street cop. Talk about your career.
I started out just a regular old patrol officer. Did that for the first 7 years of my career. Then I got selected to go into the schools as a school resource officer. The high school that I was assigned to had about 2,000 students, so it was a pretty good sized school. And for the next 3 years there, I really loved that job. You got to wear a whole bunch of different hats, got to know the kids really good. And to this day, they'll go out of their way to come up and say hi to me. But it was a really fun time in my career to work with the kids and the educators. And that's where kind of my passion for keeping kids safe started.
Well, let me ask you this, because post summer of 2020, a lot of school system, including some of the biggest in the nation, like the Los Angeles Unified School District, said that police officers in the schools were a danger to the students, and they actually got them out of the schools. Talk to me about your thoughts on that.
To be candid, if you pull the suicidal, so she's been dealing with the kids that have these tendencies to be violent, and again, you want the service to fit the need. And a lot of problems I'm seeing with threat assessment teams is you'll throw a school psychologist on a threat assessment team, and their background is autism and learning disabilities. So they don't have the right minds in those meetings to determine if the person making these threats is in the right setting to get them help.
So your system, it's a multi-response system. Take us through every layer of it, from the time that you might be contacted by a school system who is interested in 3D response.
So the main goal of the whole system is to empower the teachers to take their building back. So if you go look at surveillance cameras, and by the way, surveillance cameras are not safety, they're evidentiary. They don't stop a bullet. But anyway, once our system is depressed, so let's say a teacher's in her classroom, she hits her button. Talk
about the button. Explain to people what that looks like.
So throughout the building, tactically located within the system that fits that building specifically, there'll be buttons placed. So that button, if a teacher depresses that button, it's going to initiate 1,200 pounds of magnetic pressure on the door. It's going to send an alert to 911 that says police needed such and such a school, room 102. And it's going to set off an alert system both inside and outside the school instantly. The reason that that's so important is when I was doing run, hide, fight, or lockdown trainings, it would take a while for one side of the building to know that there's a threat going on versus the other side. So you would have this scattered response with the teachers of locking down or escaping. And you know as well as I do, you could be on floor 2 and on floor 1, a guy could have a Glock firing 15 rounds and you'll never hear it. So it immediately alerts the whole system. From there, the teacher, we put ballistic protection in there, and the ballistics are all hidden there. You can't see it. One of the big things that the educators brought up to us when we first created this was they didn't want the schools to lose the feeling of a school. So we don't lose that learning environment feeling. It's just completely hidden. So you got 1,200 pounds of pressure on the door. The windows are enhanced. There's a ballistic feature that we protect the threshold. Kids have a probably a level 7 protected area that if shooting through the walls or the doors, they're not going to get struck. At the same time, there's a command center that's set up in the building where the communication piece comes in. That room is typically in an administrative office, and they'll go into that room and they'll start to dispatch the entire staff where the intruder is. When the first officer arrives, they're going to dispatch the officer exactly where the student is that is the threat. For if this occurred in your neighboring city and you never step foot in that school and not know the layout, it doesn't matter. You're just going to be walked right to them. We have a proactive device called a suspect.
There's just a little bit there. That's guys, if you want to watch that entire interview, it's on 3dresponse.com. It's a good website. It's been updated. Some pretty nice, pretty fancy looking website, by the way, Jason. You're doing a good job on that. But there's a lot of good videos that will give you an explanation of that. Those of you who've never heard of the 3D response, one of the, I think, is the most difficult things to explain to people is that this is so many layers that you've almost got to see them all together to understand how it works. And I think once, especially law enforcement officers and former military folks, anybody that's done anything tactical, once you get through the third layer on that, then it's like a light bulb goes off in your head and you say, of course, this is exactly what would work. And the fact that he's able to conceal it and you don't know it's there. And go, like I say, go to the 3D response. There's some videos there from schools that he's installed. You see the video and make your own determination whether you can tell it's there or not. I think it's genius, and I think it's the absolute thing that I don't know if taking guns away to stop school shootings. I don't know if more psychologists will do it, but I do know if a school shooter shows up at my kid's school, I want this system in there so that that idiot's not capable of harming my child. That's the way I feel about it. But
hey, Joe, the other night, right quick, the other day when we did the presentation with the SBI, when we got done, he said, I've sat through a lot of presentations like this, but this one was, I've been the most impressed with the thought that has gone behind it. That, you know, what little bit of technology is in it, but it's, he was flabbergasted, and he told us, and he said, I want this in my kids' school. So we're trying to work on that too. So he was impressed.
I'll just be quite frank. I think anybody that's had any experience in law enforcement or military that's or have been in the gunfight, when you see this all the way through, there's not a, of course, and it goes back to what I said. I don't know what will stop them, but I do know this will save kids' lives. I don't have the answers for all the other mess that's going on in the world. Why somebody's so crazy that they would go down and kill children, of all people, kill children. I can't get in that head. And I don't know how to stop that, but I do know that this system will keep those children alive until the good guns get where the bad gun is and put this to an end.
Hey, Joe, if I can just mention to Jason and John, that one of the key factors in this is the usefulness for those who are on the scene. And that's critical because it's something that they can use. They don't have to spend inordinate amount of time to train and understand. They know it's there and it can be employed. And that is huge.
It is, and I think that it's going to take a grassroots effort. It's going to take parents to put these into schools. When you see this, you think it's super expensive. But if you're in construction like I am, and you look at the cost per square foot type of stuff, I'm really shocked at what he's able to do with the budgets that he's going for these schools. But guys, that's the end of our show. I want to thank everyone. Good comments tonight. Some pretty decent videos. Thank you, Corey, for kicking in that last minute video with the guy that tried to ambush the police, and I think we striped them up pretty good on their bad decision there. But either way, folks, this is that's into the show. Give us about 20-25 minutes. We'll kick up an after party on X Spaces, and we can keep the conversation up, and we can talk about something different. But thank you, and thank everybody on the panel tonight.
Have a good night, everyone.
Good show, Joe.
Hello.
No.
And did you ever get any money from Myalanski?
I never got money from any of those fellas.
None of those
fellas. None of these that I've been reading about, and none that I knew. They never gave me anything.
None of the Shetties?
No. I don't even speak to it. I mean, I met that Charlie once or twice. I don't even talk to him. No.
Night Court with Joe Lanou live on X.
Also known as Duck Corella.
I refuse to answer on the grounds of main intent to
You
criminal.
got any business?
I refuse to answer on the grounds of intent to criminal.
You have any profession?
I refuse to answer on the grounds of main intent
You have
to
any
criminal.
occupation?
I refuse to answer on the grounds of main intent
Are
to
you a
criminal.
known racketeer?
I refuse to answer on the grounds of